Hello, and welcome to Christian O'Brien's Wildflower Project 2012. I'm going to be taking you on a wildflower adventure from collecting to identifying, pressing, and much more. Today we're going to be collecting flowers in my backyard, and with our trusty Newcomb's Wildflower Guide in hand, we're ready to go. Let's start finding some flowers. So here we are, searching for flowers in my backyard. There's a group over there, but I've already got one of those flowers. Let's see if we can find a new type of flower out here today. Look, I found a flower. It's down here, this nice yellow one. I see there are a lot of strawberries around, so I'm guessing this flower is probably going to be some type of strawberry. Let's start to identify it. The first step in identifying any flower is to open the classification key. Then we must count the petals. We see this flower has 5 regular parts, so we can say the first number in our classification code is 5. Then we must find out if the flower has no leaves, basal leaves only, alternate leaves, or opposite or whorled leaves. We see this flower has alternate leaves because they alternate up along the stem. So we can say the next number in our classification code is 3. Now we must see if the leaves are entire, toothed, lobed, or divided. We can tell that these leaves are divided because 3 leaflets all branch from the same spot. This means that the next number in our code is going to be 4. So we can say our code is 534. Let's take a look at the table of contents to see what that means. I found the code 534 in the table of contents, so now we can start identifying a flower. First we see if our flower is less than a 1/4 inch long or wide. Our flower is pretty small, but not that small, so let's skip ahead. Now we see if our flowers are not yellow, but our flower is yellow, so let's skip ahead. Here we find yellow flowers. Our leaves were permanently divided and the leaflets were 3 to 7, so we find that our flower is on page 240. Here we are at page 240 and we can start comparing our flower. Ours looks like the Indian strawberry. We can see the leaves in the picture look a lot like ours. Let's read the description. The description says leaflets 3. Our leaflets are made out of 3 leaves. It also says plant trailing. Our plant was found trailing along the ground. The fruit is also red, as it says in the description, so it looks like our flower is the Indian strawberry. Now let's start writing down the information about our flower. Previously we identified this as the Indian strawberry, so let's see what that means. Let us find the Indian strawberry in Newcomb's Wildflower Guide. When writing down information, first you must write down the scientific name. This consists of a genus and a species. The scientific name for this flower is Duchesne indica. Let's record that on our paper towel. Duchesne indica. You have to note that only the first letter of the genus is capitalized. The first letter is not capitalized in the species. Now we write down the common name, which we found out is Indian strawberry. Next comes the family name. The book tells us the family of this flower is the rose family. This means that this flower is related to others in the rose family, such as cultivated roses. Now we're going to record the habitat we found our flower in. We found this flower in open grass in my backyard, so that's what I'm recording as the habitat. The next step is to record the date of picking. Today's date is the 24th of May. Now we're going to record the book we used to identify the flower, which was Newcomb's Wildflower Guide. Then we record the page number which the flower was on. The page number for the Indian strawberry was 240. Finally, we write down the collector, which was me, Christian O'Brien. The next part of our wildflower project is pressing the flower. Make sure you put the flower between 2 sheets of paper towel. Then you press down on the petals of the flower, making sure they're all properly splayed so you can see every single one of them. Make sure you do this with the leaves too, because they're just as important in identifying the flower. Once you have all parts of the flower properly splayed, take the second sheet of paper towel and place it atop the flower. This is to protect it while you're pressing. Press down on all parts of the flower with your hands. Really apply pressure to make sure you flatten the flower. Once you've pressed down on the flower with your hands, take a heavy book and cover the flower with that. This will apply a lot of pressure to the flower and really flatten it. Leave it like this for a few days. Now we're going to input the information about the flower into an Excel spreadsheet on the computer. You're going to input all information, including the scientific name, common name, family name, habitat, date collected, collector, identifying book, and the page number. After a long and tedious process, you can then convert this information into a Word document and a label, which you are going to put in the presentation later. Now we're going to move on to the next part of our wildflower project, presentation. Center your flower in the middle of your page and make sure you put the label on the bottom right corner. We are going to use a spray adhesive glue to make the flower stick to the page. Cover the part of the flower that you are going to pick it up by. Shake the can nicely and then spray the flower. Make sure you get the leaves, the petals, and the stem. Give it a second to air and then pick it up by that place you set aside earlier. Be very careful not to touch the leaves or petals because they will stick to your fingers. Lay the flower nicely on your page and press down on all parts, applying even pressure to make sure the flower sticks. Do not push too hard or the petals might stick to your fingers and that could ruin them. After you place the flower, we're going to apply the label. I like to use a roller adhesive because it makes the paper stick well together. Make sure you apply glue to all the edges of the paper and even in the middle to make sure the paper does not fall off. Place the label in the bottom right corner. Slip your paper into a plastic protector pocket. Make sure you get it in all the way so it doesn't fall out. Now it's ready to be put in your photo album or scrapbook. When putting together your album, make sure you put your flowers in alphabetical order by family. Your finished product should look a little something like this.